Gamba said.
Hello.
Gamba said, oh GG, first smiling face with sunglasses.
It actually worked. I don't know if you heard it through OBS. You are the first person to chat in my Discord.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Nice. Need to figure out how... It's kind of loud. I think that's going to be my desktop audio. Okay. Probably my desktop audio. Turn that down a bit. Guessing that'll do it. Meow. I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. For some reason, I kind of thought those chats would pop up on my game. It's on my OBS, so you guys probably see it, but I don't see it. So I still have to look over to see what's being chatted. So I got to kind of figure out maybe a way to overlay it on my game so I can see it while playing, so I don't have to look at a second screen. But I'll learn over time. I'm an old dog, and I can't learn new tricks. But, you know, I can learn old tricks that other people know and pretend that I'm cool. Current status is level 61, I think. Level 61. Almost ready to get my charisma, which will probably allow me to pop on Grace. This tree is ugly as shit. I fucking hate it. I really didn't want to path down this way, but I feel I need all of this shit. I need to get this charisma. I need to get this over here for some, to reduce the cost of Grace. I feel I need it all. I'm probably going to maybe even reduce the discipline cost by 25% over here. That 25% seems a little fucked up. It should be like 50. But whatever.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Getting pretty close to where I died last time. Which also means I'm getting pretty nervous of dying again. We all know what happens when I die again. We gotta hear the call of the bitch. And we don't want to hear the call of the bitch. Imperial Fields. Yesterday I was talking about my favorite area of the campaign. It is this, the Imperial Fields. This is my favorite area of the campaign. It's a big open field, and it's just fucking great. You just kind of go through here, you kill all these bitches. Can't get lost, it's basically the same every single time. Move to the left, you get the waypoint, and then you just keep moving left. And eventually you're going to get to where you need to get got. If I were to level up a character, it would be in the Imperial Fields, because this place is awesome. Good morning, and hello. Ate a big old fat wiener for breakfast. A little bit of ketchup, a little bit of mustard. Whole lot of deep throat.
Red Fade set.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Red Fade set second rib.
No, no, no. No, no, don't even fucking say that. I ain't gonna die again. Well, technically, this is my third character. My first character died almost instantly. Second character made it to Act 8. And this will be the third character. But I guess dying instantly isn't really a rip. It's just kind of like a restart. It's not a rip until you have at least 3 hours in the character. That text-to-chat's fucking cool, because then I don't have to read it. But, I wonder if you can sync the chat somehow, so that YouTube and Discord are, like, together. I put them both on an overlay on the screen, so you can see them both from the YouTube chat and from the Discord chat. But I kind of want them together. See, the thing is, I need some friends. I need some friends that are... Mayonnaise. No. No. Hot dogs take a long time to generate a little bit of mayonnaise. At least when you get to my age, it takes a long time. You young cats, you can generate mayonnaise whenever you want. It's a bit of a hassle. I gotta work up to some mayonnaise. You can't just instantly get the mayonnaise. That's crazy talk. That's not bad. Got 73 life on it. I believe we did join at some weird ass times. We were just talking about breakfast wiener and the best way to have it. People are saying, you know, mayonnaise on the breakfast wiener. That's a lot of work. Not a lot of mayonnaise comes in a tub either. Kind of just gets everywhere. You just kind of got to use your fingers to lather it on whenever you're trying to eat. Sometimes I think you can get some Miracle Whip in a tub, but the mayonnaise, it don't like no tub. It comes in a jar. Well, it comes wherever you want it to, I guess, but shit gets wild with mayonnaise. Of course it's real. I ain't talking mess for nothing. Do I want to pick up a fucking quiver? Bow build? Nah, I don't want to do no fucking bow build. If you haven't gone out and got yourself some supplies, I recommend going out and getting some supplies today. Fill up your gas tank. Buy a week's worth of food. Just in case. Maybe if you're all out of ammo, maybe go
Set.
buy a little more ammo. Here in America, elections are happening.
Gamba set.
Midterm elections.
Gamba set.
And given the chaos from the primary election, there's probably going to be some chaos for the midterm election. Unlikely to happen. There's like a 1% chance that shit hits the fan over here in America. Very slim, but no reason not to be prepared for it. Fill up your gas tank, get a week's worth of food. If you want to pro tip on the food, Hormel chili beans. Just go buy a whole fucking case of that shit. It's delicious, it's nutritious, and it's easy. Go buy a whole case, and you're good to go. And we are now charisma'd up. We got a dam from Red Fade. Oh shit. That dude hit.
Just need a moment.
What do we got? What do we got? Okay, my Discord chat. I sped it up thinking it was gonna be too slow, but I think that was a mistake. Someone put a little frog there. I don't even know how to do that shit. So I'm gonna slow down the text to chat on the Discord so I can understand it. Go to town and do that right now. If I can remember. Just set it up. Okay, right click on there. Server setting. I already forgot where it's at. Great. Great. Yeah, I just posted a video with a link to it. I put it at 100, so only 100 people could join it first. I did that in case, you know, some fucking crazy people got it and just went ham on it. Alright. Server settings. Community? No. I think it's in my actual settings here. Settings. Accessibility. There we go. Speech to text. Let's just go regular 1.0 speed.
This is what text-to-speech sounds like at the current speed.
This is what text-to-speech sounds like at the current speed. Alright. Done.
As above, so below said.
As
Crit
above.
said hello.
So,
Gamba
oh look.
said current speed.
It's popping right here in the top left of my corner. Fucking, that's cool. As above, so below. Love it. Love the religious text. The concept of as above, so below is very deep in a lot of mythology. I don't know if you can have multiple names. If not, you got lucky getting that name. I'm making major assumptions that you know what as above, so below is. I can't imagine that being your name and you not being familiar with the phrase. Yeah, there's a small chance shit will get wild with this midterm election. It's looking like Republicans might do pretty well and take both the House and the Senate. They're definitely taking the House, but they might take the Senate as well. And if they take the House and the Senate, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I don't even know. Shit has a very small potential to get wild. I went to the Walmart, the highest class facilities that you can imagine, and I spent $300 on supplies. I'll talk about some of these supplies. Hormel chili, a big one. Big Hormel chili fan. You could put that shit on anything. Got some Hormel chilies. I bought like a 20-pound bag of beans just in case. I already got rice. I'm always covered on the rice. Having, you know, never eaten rice until I was 18, I'm a huge fan of rice. So I got my little Tiger rice cooker. So I got the beans, I got the rice, I got Gusher supply. Because if shit goes south and for any reason, you know, we lose our shipping for produce and groceries, Gushers are going to be worth more than gold. Because you can't eat gold. Well, I guess you can eat gold. It's just not very tasty. But you can eat Gushers. I don't want to hear no fucking Gusher hate. Gushers are delicious. You put them in your mouth, they explode. Like tiny little cream pies for your mouth. But red. Also got some clam chowder. Gotta love that clam chowder. Hamburger meat, put in the freezer. Though if shit hits the fan, we're gonna probably run out of power. Again, I want to preface.
Gamba said I love turtles.
I love turtles as well. Everyone should know what that reference is to. I love turtles. It's one of the best videos that have ever been created on the internet. That and Wouldn't You Like to Know Weather Boy are both pretty good.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Oh, I get nervous when I run out of energy shields, so let me just fucking back on out of here. Let the cowards build do its work. Shit. What do we got here? Extra physical is cold. Monsters take 30% less damage. That kind of makes sense.
I need more pockets.
Boys are fucking quick. Ah, I use that name because of a movie. Basically went upwards. Never going downwards. Thought it was cool. And it's cut off. As above, so below has religious connotations because Earth is supposed to mimic heaven. Mankind was made after God's image. So the as above, so below comment means that if it is true in heaven, it is true on earth. Something along those lines. Being an atheist, I've studied a bit of religion. Can't really say you don't believe something without having a little bit of knowledge of something. That's just a level of ignoramus. I always forget that this Solaris temple splits into two places. Obviously, we got any religious scholars up in here, they can provide far more details in the as above, so below connotations.
I need more pockets.
Can't even remember any of the other supplies I bought. Bought a little bit of water.
Be careful.
But I live where water is very plentiful, so water's not important. But if you're in the desert, you probably want to go out and buy some water. Let's see if I can pop Grace
I don't
on.
think I need to be doing that right now.
Like to go to my town for that. Level 7 Grace. Pop that right in here. Get rid of that. Pop that. Nice. A little bit less energy shield because discipline gone.
Just
I
need a
feel
moment
Grace
to
is the
catch my
stronger defensive layer out of the two. Oh, that's some good life. That's some good energy shield right there. Oh, yeah. I got my one of my 4 links in here. Do I need this 4 link? Yes, I do need that 4 link. Let us pump it up. Did I get the right? Oh, I almost got the right fucking colors. I should just fucking go to the bench. I should just... Oh, there we go. Let's see, we got vitality, precision. I don't really need a precision. I do need another red. No, there's not an ideal unique I'm looking for this brand build. I try to think of a build that didn't require any uniques because I'm doing hardcore solo self-found, and I didn't think I was going to be getting any uniques. Hello, Mr. Hymar. My Har, not Hymar. It's almost like I'm dyslexic or some shit. I'm gonna go, you guys ready to watch me fucking waste it? I'll pop 2 reds on here. What do you call a singing computer? Mark Zuckerberg talking to Congress? Adele. Oh, didn't give me my green. Oh well, I'll use it. I don't need fucking precision. That's funny. See, that's funny because Adele is a popular singer and Dell is a computer brand. Get it? The best thing about a joke is over-explaining it. If you don't over-explain a joke, then there might be one person on the planet who doesn't understand. So you got to just really hammer in that over-explanation of the joke. Kill it till it's dead. Yes, I am a mansplaining this joke. Adele. I like it. I can never remember jokes. I have a lot of funny jokes on tap if I could actually remember them. But I can never, ever remember them. I don't want a fucking Scourge Arrow. Yeah, dad jokes are the best. Is there a blue aura I can use? I don't think there is.
Just need a moment.
Aura. Oh, I got that lightning shield though. I don't think that's an aura. What do you call an armless, legless guy at your door? Matt. See, that's funny. Because the guy can't walk or use his hands, so he's basically a doormat. Tempest Shield. There we go. Someone got that name. Tempest Shield. Spell Lightning Chaining. I'll pop that in there, but I don't think it's going to work with Arrogant support. Tempest Shield. B. Reservation 52% life. That wasn't 52% life. Oh, because these two aren't popped as well. That would explain it. Let me pop this on here and see if this helps. Life, 20% increased life efficiency of skills. Okay, okay, okay. It's kind of getting there. It's kind of getting there. What if I pop vitality off completely? It's still too fucking thick. It's too thick. I can't use it. So let's unpop it. How am I dealing with chaos damage? With chaos resistance. I got these notes here. I'm actually going to path right into these notes as well. Don't think I quite need these ones. Let's get rid of that. Not going to need that. Let's start pathing back into here. Tempest Shield. Reservation of 25% mana. I'm going to pop it over here. Just in case. I'm not using this discipline. There we go. And clear that. It is kind of a stick bug passive tree. All right. No idea. I've shot a deer in the antler once. That's nothing to do with a no idea. But, you know, I shot a deer in the antler once. I shoot some guns from time to time, but I am nowhere near a good shot. And every time I go deer hunting, I'm all fucking gassed out. Because I used to go deer hunting back in that Arizona, and it's just these stiff little canyons that you go in. So I'm always tired, then your heart gets racing. Terrible shot. I've missed some big old boys. The only ones I managed to hit are the little tiny ones. 3-pointer, 2-pointers. Are people born with photographic memory? Or do they develop it? Speaking of photograph, 1 hour photo. Great fucking movie. Get to see Robin Williams being a fucking creeper. Glorious movie. These are those, Yeah, Robin is a bad guy, man. It was something to behold. It was something to behold. Fucking nailed it. Evangelion references in there too, some anime references. Oh, fuck that. Get rid of these bullshit markers. I ain't picking that shit up. Number 23 with Jim Carrey. Yes, a while ago. I have forgotten all of it. Person who stole your spot in the queue. What are you talking about? Oh, I get it. I get it. Ha! Nah, I don't like Rogue Exile. I don't like Harbor. I don't like any of that Harbor stuff. I don't like the doorway rape situation over the Rogue Harbor. Also kind of don't like anything that's timed. You see me taking my time. You see me playing slow. You don't rush this old man. This old man takes his time.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
It is definitely asking for death in hardcore. That's fucking nuts. Yeah, that little event called Columbine happened when I was in high school. Or junior high. I can't exactly remember. But I know people used to bring guns to school. Not like in the school, but in the hillbilly Arizona truck area. Everyone had those little gun racks in the back of their truck. Inside, you got the inside, then you got the back window of your truck, and you put a little gun hook on there, and you put your gun there. And people used to go to school all the time with their gun in their truck at their vehicle. And that had to change, unfortunately. Even in my little small town, they got rid of the truck gun possibility at the schools. We ain't ever had no incident like that in my school. I bet most people could say they ain't never had no incident in that school because those incidents are quite fucking rare. Violence in America is an interesting conversation as to what causes it. A lot of opinions there. I don't think any one opinion is correct. People might stumble onto pretty good ideas. But the opinion I feel is least accurate is to try to blame the tools that people use to commit violence. That being blaming guns. We got some major societal problems going on here for that shit. Forks make forks make people fat. Perfect analogy of what I'm talking about. Yeah, fighting was a thing in my school too. I don't have good references because I never went to big schools, and I don't know any young people, like literally no young people. So I don't know if fighting is a thing in young people's circles. I know the internet has made people very brazen in the way they talk. And if most of their societal raising is online, they might think some of that shit talk they can say online, they can get away with it in real life. And they're going to fuck around and find out if they do. Or maybe that is acceptable in the real life and people just don't fight very much. But And ass kicking was always a couple of smart words away when I was growing up. I'm around 40. Graduated right around the 2000s. Yeah, I'm right around 13. Crack at 13. Super young guy here. But I'm chalking up the violence in America to a couple of factors. Factor one, parenting. That's factor one. I don't think that we have the same quality of parents for a lot of these kids as what used to be. I don't know the exact causes for that. Divorce, infidelity, women's empowerment, because women can be just as powerful as men from a financial standpoint. So they have much less incentives to stay with deadbeat men or men that kind of raise their fist against them. So divorce is a lot higher, which I believe is a good thing for the two people getting divorced, but it probably plays a pretty negative role on the kids. Not having solid role models to be modeled off after. Another one is a societal problem with the media. When you're young, you always kind of want to be famous. You want to be popular, and you want to be known. If you can't do that through achievements, you can do that through threats of terror. Bombing a school, shooting up a school. You're going to make a Wikipedia page for yourself. You're probably going to die in the process, but if you don't really value your life, which is easy to do as a young person because your minds are all riddled with all that fucking testosterone or estrogen or whatever the fuck it is, and you don't have the sense of... your brains aren't fully developed. I'll just leave it at that. So you want to get your name out there into the public, so you're going to do something stupid like shoot up a school. Yeah, exactly. What more could you want than your 15 minutes of fame? Exactly, especially when you're young. Not much else is important to you than being cool and getting your fame. But,
Rice A. Ronnie said.
Just need a moment
Hey.
to catch my breath.
But, I think they could solve that problem a little with some enforcement of policies to never say those people's names, to give them no media attention beyond local media attention. So I forgot where that place in Texas that just had their most recent shooting. I think that was the most recent shooting in America. I think there should be some media rules in place where it doesn't go mass media and it's only shared locally. So the people in the local community can get the news for that situation. Stream till I die. Let's hope it's later rather than sooner. And yeah, sure. Streaming will probably not be a big part of this channel, but I will make videos till I die. I'm just streaming this because I think hardcore is a little more interesting than regular core. So that's another factor they could do to reduce some of that school shooting shit. But the biggest evidence I've seen for that type of thing is just, oh, the internet will definitely fucking die. It's been ridiculous. It's going good today, though. No strong latency spikes. Sticking right around the 30 mark, which seems to be pretty good for this game. Inequality.
Joe said.
Hello. Wave hi. Wave to say hi. You'll have to forgive me. I've never used Discord. I don't know what to do in there. I'll learn, but for now, I have absolutely no fucking clue what I'm doing. I just went through the menus and saw how to create a server, and then turned on voice chat, and that's it. So the Discord is going to be a bit rough for a bit. I had the choice between watching like a 1-hour tutorial or playing my game, and I figured I'd play my game. I'll get that tutorial done at some other point when there's not a timed event going on. And I'm in the lead. There's nobody ahead of me. Where did all these fuckers come from? I'm definitely in the lead. There's no one ahead of me. The fastest player in this game. One socket build, yeah. I like to push the limits of this game in the wrong way. People like to push the limit of this game for like maximum DPS or maximum clear speed. I want to push this game with like, what can you do with a specific concept and only that concept? So pushing that limit was, I wanted to see how good your build can be with the least amount of gems, skills, and sockets, while justifying the reduction in those gem skills and sockets. Meaning you can't just get a 6 link and not use it. You get a legitimate piece of gear that prevents you from using a specific socket. So I started out with 8 sockets using Bringer of Rain, which disabled the body armor, and then Hollowed Palm, which disabled the gloves and the weapons. And then I expanded upon that by adding in Comms Roots, which made it 4 sockets. And I was going to expand with Comms Roots and add in the Ring Thief's Torment to reduce a ring slot. But instead, I decided to get the helmet and make it a 1 socket build, and then also Thief's Torment. But with that 1 socket build, it then opened up the chest piece again. So I popped in Comms Roots. So taking that idea as far as I can was like the objective of that. And a lot of people don't see that that's what I'm trying to do. And they throw some hate out there, which is fine. I mean, it's a dumbass video, and I'm kind of a dumbass myself. But a lot of people can only play this game in one way, and that is the absolute best gear, the absolute best skill, and the maximization of damage. And there's plenty of players for them. Plenty of resources for them. Just go to POE Ninja and just search, and there you go. Got it. But I like to do a lot more exploration of the specific mechanics. Yeah, all right is a big part of me as a person. I use it in real life all the time. All right. That's how I answer my phone, actually. When people call me, I'm like, all right, what's up? I've been doing that for many a year. Yeah, that helmet's cool. I did another build where I wanted to try to use replica. I forgot what it's called. Does a bunch of chaos damage as physical damage. So the idea was to get as much physical damage and to convert as much of that, not convert, add as much of that physical damage as extra chaos damage. So the whole point of that build was to see how much added chaos damage I can muster up. Alright. You know the story behind his alright? He's on the cast of Dazed and Confused. And if you haven't seen Dazed and Confused, it's a modern classic. It is a brilliant movie. In shop class, we would all make those paddles that they'd whoop the kids' ass with. They never got used. As I said, there wasn't a lot of bullying in my school, being small and tight-knit community. Everyone's parents knew everyone else's parents, and everyone just kind of knew each other. So if you bullied someone, it would get around to the parents, and it just wasn't really a thing. But we did all, as a class, make paddles for whooping ass, which is probably a bad thing if other schools did that, but it was just one of the things we did in shop class. Everyone had to make a paddle. An ass whooping paddle. Oh yeah, no, mine's just alright. That's mine. Alright. Alright. I don't do the triple alright. So that's Matthew McConaughey. He's got that. He's got that down on lock. But the triple alrights, I think it was supposed to be 4 alrights for Matthew McConaughey, as he says it himself, was about, I think it was women, cars, and booze. So he was counting off all the things he had, and the only thing he was lacking was women. So he was like, all right, all right, all right. And he's counting off his positives on his finger while saying all right. So happy. Wow. Enthusiastic. But that Days Confused is a really good movie. But someone kind of ruined a little bit of the movie for me. Because, I don't know if he's the main star, but the main kid star fucking touches his nose and moves the hair away from his ear so goddamn much in that movie. And I never noticed it until someone pointed it out. And now it makes it difficult to watch the movie. Because the whole fucking movie, he's touching his nose and moving his hair behind his ear. Fucking glass. Yeah, dude. Glass shattering when I saw that. I was like, oh my fucking god. It's non-stop. It's non-stop. Yeah, pinch between his eyes. Oh my fucking god. Drives me crazy. I could barely watch the movie anymore because of it. It's like fucking laugh tracks. I never once noticed a laugh track until fucking Big Bang Theory. And it's over oppressive laugh track. And now it's ruined Seinfeld. Because Seinfeld has a fucking either a laugh track or a live audience. And oh my god. Maybe. So, here's a concept that not a lot of people realize. The fan, the customer of a video game is not always right. It is possible that Arch Nemesis is ruining Path of Exile, but it's also possible that they have a vision for this game and Arch Nemesis is a part of that vision and we just don't see their vision. So Arch Nemesis may be a part of that vision in the future, which may take the game into its next phase. If all companies just listened to the fans of their products, their mindless consumers, mind you, they would never produce a good product ever again. Because there's fans are not developers, and developing a video game requires a specific skill set. And fans think they know what they want. They think they know what's good. They think they want loot for days. They think they want just an endless stream of loot. That's what they think they want. They don't realize they don't want less loot. Because saying, oh, we need less loot is the dumbest thing anyone has ever said. Of course you don't need less loot. Of course you don't want less loot. You want more loot. You want all of that. But to make a better game, sometimes you gotta reduce the loot count, and it's never gonna go over well with fans. A notorious developer for this is From Software. From Software will stick to their vision regardless of what their fans want, across the board. So fan suggestions, they hear them. They're like, yeah, we hear you. But they always prioritize what they believe to be best for the franchise. And I believe that's what GGG is doing. Now, there's other aspects of this league where they just totally fucked up on. And I've said in several of my videos, I think they let junior developers develop this league instead of their senior developers. The biggest one for me is the cost of the materials for Harvest, the Harvest crafting bench. The cost of those materials were so far off of reality, of what could realistically be used, that the only two ways that could have happened is, one, the people who developed it had never developed a league before, they'd never really played the game much, and they don't understand the currency of this game. And they just guess. They're like, $1 million sounds okay. And they had no fucking concept of, what would be right. Yeah, it was so disgustingly high that it bordered on deliberate incompetence. And I don't believe that the senior developers that make this game have any deliberate incompetence or any incompetence in general. I've always been quite the fan of the developers of this game and this game in general. It triggers a lot of things for me that a game like Diablo 3 does not trigger. Diablo 3 to me is more of an action game with role-playing as kind of a side, and the way you develop your character, it's a highly personalized character, and you really get kind of attached to the adjustments you make to your character. Like, doing all this, I feel a weird connection to this character I'm building, because I did all this fucking pathing myself, I do all the loot myself, I do all this planning myself, so this is like my idea right here on the screen, and Path of Exile does this better than any other game that I've played in terms of an action role-playing game. Now, I don't like Diablo 3 because when Diablo 3 comes out, it's like, what set piece am I going to use? Oh, I'm going to use the Raker set for the Barbarian. So I'm going to be exactly like every other Raker set out there. And some people like that. Some people are like, yeah, I just want to pop in and play my Raker set, which I'll get once I get my fucking bounty bonus, and then done and done. But GGG has developed this. So, with that in mind, who am I to fully critique the people that developed this brilliant piece of game here? Sure, I may have my opinions about it, but yeah, I get that people are sensitive about it, and they're all valid with their sensitivities and all that stuff, but to try to question the people that have built something so great when you yourself have not developed something so great is a little short-sighted. It's a little short-sighted. So I'm going to give GGG the benefit of the doubt with their Nemesis mods, with their loot changes. Obviously, I fully disagree with the loot goblining, where one group of people can get 30 divines while I'm getting nothing. They get 30 divines in one drop. I believe that's a mistake. We'll see what GGD does about it. But I'm not the expert. That could very well... That's a pretty good ring. I wonder if I can use that. Exactly. Whether or not Arch Nemesis will be good will require just some time, I think. Yeah, this is one of the most rare and unique games out there. There's nothing like this on the market. Free-to-play game that doesn't have extremely pay-to-win mechanics. What's-his-face? Jorgen, I think it is. The very good Asian Path of Exile player. Did a video talking about, is Path of Exile pay-to-win? And he says because you can buy the stash tabs, which enhances your playability, it is pay-to-win. I don't view it that way. I view Path of Exile as 0% pay-to-win. How I view Path of Exile is you get a free trial so many places, so much value on uniques, but in reality, so many rares are ultimately better if crafted and rolled right. Yeah, I agree with that. I'll touch on that in a second. What's it talking about? Yeah, Beetroot, you're probably right there. I completely forgot what I was talking about.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Well, since I forgot what I was talking about, I'll talk about, MayHam's comment there. Path of Exile is kind of like a little bit of two games at once. You got the top tier rare crafting game where the big boys play. The big boys make their quadruple mirrored items. Oh yeah, short memory. I never participated in the 60s, but my memory is fucked. I didn't even do drugs as a kid. First time I did what I guess you would call it was legal when I did it, but I guess you would call it illegal, which is the THC. First time I did that was 2 years ago in my late 30s. And that's because it became legal here in Washington State. Oh, fuck yeah. Thank you, Carlos. I will continue on the pay to win. I view Path of Exile as a free-to-play game until T16 maps. The experience is perfectly fine until you get to that kind of end game. You pay for the end game with your stash tabs, your trade tab, and everything else. So, it's a free-to-play game until you reach the end game, which is where you pay. And there's another game that does this model, and that is Final Fantasy XIV. They let you play the game for free until I think level 60. So that's how I view this game. It's not a free-to-play game, it's a free-to-try game. You try the game, if you like it, then you have to buy the stash tabs, because I do view those stash tabs as mandatory. Anyone who doesn't view those stash tabs as mandatory is really killing the quality of the game. So let's say that a full purchase of all the required stash tabs is $40. I don't know what it actually costs. I'm going to go to town right now and talk about the stash tabs that I have and the ones I view as mandatory. So this tab here is mandatory in my opinion. This currency tab, mandatory. Essence, not mandatory. Very nice to have, but definitely not mandatory. Maps, mandatory. This, not mandatory, and probably one of the ones I probably shouldn't even have bought, but I like to buy them. Fossils, if you're gonna go into crafting, fossils is mandatory. This is definitely mandatory. These aren't mandatory, especially now that they stack very well. I like it, so I bought it. This tab, mandatory. This fragment tab, mandatory. Big boy stash tab, not mandatory. I wanted it. I use it for dumping gear at the beginning of the league to do the chaos recipe. This big stash is good for the chaos recipe. They have other applications. I tried one once. It didn't work well. But I'll just line them up. Rings, amulets, chest piece. Just like in a little line. All the chest pieces in a line. All the boots in a line. All the gloves in a line. And the quad tab. That's what I use the quad tab for. Not mandatory, but nice. Trade tab, mandatory. And unique tab, not mandatory, but it's cool. It actually kind of gets in the way a lot, though. I kind of wish I could disable the trade tab, because let's say I'm trying to build the Laurel Weave, which requires 50 rings, and every time I want to move a ring to a stash tab, I don't think the quad tab is mandatory in the slightest. But anytime I want to move a unique ring to the stash tab and I have more than one of that unique ring, it always airs out and it's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. So then I got to drag it over and it gets just a little weird with that unique one. So, $20-30 after the free trial. So you get a free trial with Path of Exile until you get to red maps. Oh, damn. Look at that life. Look at that life. What's this life at? 55? Damn, that's some good life. But this one has the evasion, which I get a bonus for my passive. So I want to be able to capitalize on that bonus. So I'm not going to use it. Because I fucking hate this node. Because I feel forced to try to use that evasion on the body armor. I feel forced. I do need a 5 link, and that's only a 4. But anyways. So that's how I feel about this game. I don't view it as a free-to-play game. I know they say it's a free-to-play game. I view it as a free-to-try game. Because some of these aspects you do need to play the game at a higher level. So it's not 100% free-to-play. But are those pay-to-win? You can argue easily yes if you don't want to view it as a trial version. But I view it as a free to try $20 to $40 in stash tab shit to buy. And then once you get that stash tab, then you are on equal playing field as anyone else. And there's nothing that anyone else can buy that will make them significantly better than you at this game. Nothing at all. There may be some macros they can use, some external applications they can use. You're free to use those as well. They might be able to buy like 30 quad tabs and become an ultra trader. That really isn't going to improve their playing at all. And for a free-to-play game to have that honest of a purchasing platform is unique. Now, what MyHar was saying, there's kind of two games in here. I don't play the rare, the extremely expensive yellow item game. I don't often play that game very much. Crafting in this game is a beast that I have not conquered. I haven't really attempted to conquer that beast, but it is a fucking beast. Let's make sure I'm not in any type of crazy shit before I play and talk at the same time. So you kind of have two different games here. You have the unique game, where you can make builds based primarily off uniques, and then you have the rare game, where you craft your own shit, where you buy those really expensive yellows. I typically like to play the unique game, where my builds are based off a few core uniques, which you're guaranteed to be able to get. The high-end players are obviously on that rare game, with these really expensive, often self-crafted yellow items. And I don't often play that game because it's so much harder. Oh yeah, I know. I felt, the gambler in me felt that there was something really good in there. It just seemed like it's all by itself. I really felt I was getting something special in there, and I didn't. But I like to play the unique game to build really good unique builds that require unique items, that use these and utilize those unique items. And those will never be as powerful as like an ultra juiced out rare character with rare items. And that puts the loot ceiling extremely low and extremely high at the exact same time. If you want to do a unique build, depending on the uniques, most uniques are relatively inexpensive. You got a few wild sons of bitches, like the shield. I think it's the Squire. I'm trying real hard to remember the name of that shield. I've never had and probably never have. You got a couple amulets like a Stranglehold and Ashes of the Stars, but Ashes of the Stars you can farm, so that one maybe not so much. Yeah, the Squire, super pricey. You have a couple of uniques that are out of most people's price points, but most of them are right in line with your price points, and you can totally build a unique a build using almost all uniques. And then after you do that, you can use that full unique build, not full unique, but primarily unique build to farm up yellows or crafting materials to do your own crafting. If you really want to go that extra ham level, I'm going to call that the uber boss level. You want to get to the uber boss level, then you got to start getting some of those really high-end rares. Yeah, I typically do amulet and rings as rares and just get the best amulet and rings possible. Sometimes I'll throw a belt in there. It's really nice to throw a belt in there. And then usually one, either gloves, boots, or helmet rare. So I'll have like 4 to 5 rares, and the rest will be unique. Those rares are used to cap out to get really high life, because uniques often don't have the life that you need. They're there to get the resistances, because uniques often don't have the resistances. Never die till server down. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm not good at this game. In order to not die, you need a level of focus that I can never maintain in this game. To be constantly aware of your surroundings and your situation. Dash out of danger, not put yourself in danger. Don't dash forward because you're going to dash into a bunch of fucking cunt licks.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Frankfurt server just crashed. Frankfurt, let me be an American with my lack of geography. Is Frankfurt Germany? Or Austria? I mean, us Americans view them as the same fucking thing, but... Well, I won't say us Americans. I won't generalize. But, if you were... Do I need to go to High Gardens? I don't remember if I need to go there anymore. I think I already did it. Yep, I am low life with pain attunement on my helmet. Using pain attunement on my helmet to give me 30% more damage, and I am using the petrified blood to reduce the damage I take by 40%. Which mathematically should result in me taking or having 10% less life, less effective health pool, but doing 30% more damage. But one thing that petrified blood and low life enables is the doubling of vitality's effect. So vitality gains you some flat life. Right now it's probably not gaining me that much flat life. But that flat life gain is essentially doubled when your life is half and your damage is reduced by 40%. So this vitality is giving me 120 life per second. Realistically, it's 240 life per second because the hits that I take are reduced by 40%. And then the amount that I regenerate after that 40% reduction is much higher because it's only regenerating half of my life pool. So this flat life is extremely strong when you're using this petrified blood. But you are a trickster. I don't know what that means, but yes, I am a trickster. Tricky Dicky, sir. Have confidence. I don't know what that means.
Just in time.
No problem at all. What's the time there? It's 3:12 up here in the...
Just need a moment.
I don't think I need that. In the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Unfortunately, it's sunny as shit today. So I had to put my blinds up, and I bought one of those Japanese wall dividers. So I can put that in front of my window, keep it nice and dark. People from all over the world up in here. That's wild. Growing up, I would have never imagined that possible. It's not something I would have been able to fathom. Me here playing my game with people from Germany. And I think we had Argentina in here. Had a guy from Poland. Then my bro right there. Just a little bit to the east of me. I haven't spent much time in that state, but I drive through it when I go to Arizona, and I very much appreciate the fast speed limits. Speed limit hits to 80 miles an hour, so then when I'm doing 100, it's not criminal speeding, it's just regular speeding. And if I get pulled over, I don't get arrested. Yeah, Spokane got some snow a couple days ago. Shit's pretty chill. Where I live, I'm pretty close to the ocean, about a mile away from the ocean, so that keeps me nice and warm. Warm in the wintertime, cool in the summertime. That's the second one of those things I've gotten. Meow. Kitten mittens. Meow. Oh, that's a weird concept. Never seeing snow. There's large percentages of this world that have never seen snow. Basically, most of the Middle East hasn't seen snow. Obviously, Afghanistan mountains seen snow and stuff like that, but anyone else from there? A lot of places in Africa have never seen snow in their entire life. And some people like 60 and have never seen a day or a flake of snow in their entire life. I've seen people break down crying when they see it for the first time. Oh, fuck that guy. Brian, I'm glad you laughed at my one socket build.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
I agree and disagree that Path of Exile is dying. This league, Path of Exile is dying. But, I don't view the current state as the future state. I think they got a plan. I think they got a roadmap. I think POE 2 is going to be a big fucking deal. Obviously, POE 2 is just POE. And I don't know if they're doing a full engine change or what. But POE, I think, launched in like 2012, 2013. Before the internet was really what it is today. The internet is a very different beast today than it was in 2013. And I think with the game launch, POE 2, in modern times, they're probably going to be able to capitalize and get a lot of new streamers. It only takes a little bit to blow a game like Path of Exile into the fucking stratosphere. If you want an example of that, it was to showcase how does peak PoE gameplay look like. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So to take 12 years of gameplay and to say, or 12 years of software development, video game development, to take those 12 years of video game development, all of which have had really, really good shit. I mean, just think of the Cluster Jewel League, or the league where Cyclone was fucking amazing. All the good shit they put into this game, and to say, oh, they had one bad league, which I think most people will agree this is a pretty bad league. They had one bad league, therefore Path of Exile over. I think that might be a bit of an over-exaggeration. Coming from a place where people have a difficulty seeing the past and the future and live a little heavy in the now. So if you're only living in the now, then yeah, Path of Exile is dead in the now. But they have a very strong history, and in my opinion, a very strong future. So to say that Path of Exile is done or is dying, I think is a little short-sighted. Now, to say Path of Exile is in a rough spot at the moment is highly accurate, and probably the best way to say that. Path of Exile is in a rough spot right now. For me, the roughest part of the spot that it is the loot goblins getting the 50 divines in one go. because I think that's botitizable. So these currency farmers are able to get bots to identify the loot goblin or the high loot dropper and then pop in with magic find shit. And that's going to fuck up the economy. And the economy is a pretty big deal for softcore trade. And hardcore trade, I guess, but mostly softcore trade. I think that's the biggest problem. The second biggest problem is the fact that POE made the biggest change they've ever made in the history of Path of Exile in that loot change, and they didn't properly communicate it. Now, I don't know the reason for that. Either Chris Wilson wasn't intelligent enough or fully aware with how big the change actually was, or he knew that people would be so mad they probably would protest the league and not play it. I don't think he would have thought that people wouldn't find out, because obviously people were going to find out. So it could be one of those vision things where he has the vision of where he wants Path of Exile to be, and they want that loot change in Path of Exile 2, so they want to make that change in Path of Exile 1 to build up the bad reputation of Path of Exile 1 versus the bad reputation of Path of Exile 2. So he could be front-loading a lot of this negativity, which he's bound to face from changes that will be unpopular. Yeah, so viewing it from their perspective can be a little helpful, but it was shady. It was definitely shady to not... Ooh, 23% increased cast speed. Too bad I ain't got nothing else. It was shady to not properly communicate that massive loot change. Now, if they got rid of the loot goblin, the loot farmers, I think that change is perfectly fine. As long as everyone's on the same playing field, I don't really care about the loot tables or the drop rates. I'll find an awesome build. Yeah. I think Arch Nemesis is the least popular mechanic. And it's not in a great state. But I think they're trying to build it into something that's good.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
And they're forcing it because they're the boss. They're in charge of the game. They think an Arch Nemesis is going to be the future, so they're forcing people to use it. Yeah, melee's a pretty bad spot. Ish. I think you're overhyping Synthesis. I did not like Synthesis. That shit was not developed enough. Comparison is the thief of joy. That is a saying, which is a stupid e-girl Instagram saying, you know, a little e-girl quote. Little Instagram quote, some big-titted beautiful bitch is gonna put, comparison is the thief of joy. That kind of bullshit, but it is kind of true. If you just compare your builds to my builds, you're gonna feel real good about your builds. Like, man, my build is way more powerful than this douche consumer's builds. Look at this, he's only using one socket. My build blows his build out of the water, and then you're going to feel real great. But if you're comparing your build to a fucking quad mirror level Uber farmer who kills Ubers in 3 seconds, and that's like your goal, you're never going to feel good. If you're a melee player and you're looking at fucking caster builds that never get touched and can kill everything in one fucking spell, it's never going to feel very good. But, as a melee player, even a lowly Cyclone builder, I can build a Cyclone build relatively cheap that's going to do all content except for Ubers easily. So while melee is in a bad spot compared to casters, it's not that bad of a spot. This has been one of the funnest leagues for me. Objectively, the worst league they've ever had, at least since I've been... I think this is where I fucking died last time. Is this where I fucking died last time? I think I made it farther. This might have been where I fucking died. Oh, I love Cobra Lash. I fucking love Cobra Lash. The damage is dog shit. So it takes a lot to scale Cobra Lash up to do some quality damage. Yeah, this is arguably the worst league. Yeah, near the door before the boss. I'm all nervous now. This is arguably one of the worst leagues, but I think I've had more fun on this league than almost every other league. The Cyclone League, where Cyclone was the size of the whole screen, I had a fucking ball and a biscuit playing. But this league's been a lot of fun. Could be because I started streaming during this league. I created my YouTube channel during this league. So that could be why I had a lot more fun. First time playing one of these events, hardcore. And I'm loving hardcore. There's a level of tension and a priority of loot that is completely different than softcore. I have to play a lot more deliberate and focus on my mechanics a little bit. Obviously, I can't focus on my mechanics too much because the visual clarity of this game does not allow that, and my old eyes do not allow that. So having fun is very much up to you, to an extent. Yeah, Fizz, one of the problems with Fizz... One of the problems with Melee right now is almost all of the damage is dependent upon the damage of the weapon. That is not true for spellcasters. Spellcasters have a lot of different avenues to amp up their damage. One of the biggest ones being the level of the spell. You can just pump up the level of your spell and you're pumping up your damage a fuck ton. But you pump up the level of Cyclone, you pumped up the level of Cyclone, you're barely getting a damage increase from that. So the only way to really pump up the damage from Cyclone is to just get a higher damage weapon. That is kind of boring. And getting those high damage yellow weapons is very difficult. So that's actually one of the larger...
Rican said.
Wave to say hi. Hello. That's one of the larger disadvantages of Melee, and why Melee is in kind of a bad state. Is because if you, let's just say you want to do 100% unique...
Rican said I kite girdles.
Oh fuck, I am loving this I like turtles shit. Absolutely loving it. That's the exact energy I want to fucking produce in my life. That kid is so goddamn funny. I absolutely died when I first saw it. I watched it for like a year straight. So one of the reasons physical melee damage is in a bad spot is the reliance on the heavy damage of the weapon. The high DPS weapon. And if you were to get a spellcaster unique only build and a melee unique only build, the spellcaster is gonna fucking blow it out of the water. Because spellcasting with uniques will scale significantly higher because the uniques doesn't rely, I mean the spells don't rely on the physical damage of the weapon. And a lot of people are playing unique builds, myself included. Most of what I play is uniques because those are easy, you're guaranteed to be able to get it. But if you build a build that requires really rare yellows, you're not guaranteed to get it. And a lot of the yellows are fucking not even viable, especially as the league gets older and people stop trading. There's a lot of builds I want to build, but there's little mechanics that I need that I can't buy because they're just not for sale. I don't know what they can do to help Melee. I think leveling out the melee damage of weapons, the DPS of weapons, raising the minimum and lowering the maximum while also doing slight attune adjustments to some of the other gear is probably the right choice. Because it'll just allow for a higher percentage of good gear, good DPS weapons. One of the things I want them to do as well yeah, that's a little bit what they did for bows, but I think bows were more so just a big buff in general. I'm not sure the big buff would help it out too much, because you could still have the bottom end shit, the hard to roll high end stuff be what dictates, because they have to balance all of these skills on like the absolute maximum. And the absolute maximum damage you can do as a melee character is actually really, really fucking high. Because you can get a two-hander with like 1400 physical DPS if you got like the absolute perfect roll.
Just need a moment to catch
And so they kind of have to balance all of melee off of that 1400 max possibility melee fizz weapon. Yeah, I'm a little bit the other way. I mostly play, I haven't played Jug since Grasping Vines, because I used to love the Jug. Used to be my favorite class. I played Jug every league, because you cannot be frozen, you cannot be slowed, you are a Jug, you will move whenever you want to move, you will do as you please, Jug goes where he wants. That kind of Jug mindset was fucking fantastic. But then they added in Grasping Vines. They added in some other slow shit that can slow a Jug. And now a Jug, his don't slow me bro node is only like half as good. So I stopped playing a Jug in general. So I mostly play Duelist. I do a lot of Shadow. And I do a little bit of Templar. I haven't played a Witch in a really long time. Because spells are so overpowered, I try to avoid spells. Here we go. Lucky Portal. And I try to do melee, just because spells are so overpowered. That's the Lucky Portal. Not going to die on this boss, everybody. He's donezo. Gonna pump on him like this. Pump, 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 pump. It's a good demonstration for why I wanted to use Brand. Look at the shock. Watch the shock come back from that. See how quickly those shocks are applying? Let my energy shield recharge. Hide behind this pillar. By dropping the brands, it's going to be constantly shocking this fuck bag. And I can just hold down the lightning conduit and just plow, plow, plow. Now the shocks aren't going to be as big as with Storm Brand, probably. But the fact I can just throw them on and then go hide like a coward, very nice. It is working very well. It's working exactly as I thought it would. Very pleased with the performance of this build so far.
You found. Bring me back something nice, huh?
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, Blade Blast, Blade Fall was fucking wild when it was in its peak. I still think it's plenty strong now. But when it... Oh, you fucking dick licker. Give me a Corrupted Blood gem already. But when Blade Blast, Blade Fall was in its absolute peak, it was a slaughterhouse. It was spectacular. Alright, let us pump that up. 50 life, double res. Think I got better shit, and that requires too high of a level. That's not any good. 76 life, 40 mana, 20. Oh, mine's way better. I'm gonna dumpster that. Yeah, Shadow is fucking crazy in its starting point. This shit right here for a physical chaos build with one-handers, these 3 nodes here is so much fucking power. Then you go into there and you get that movement speed, plus 20 chaos, plus 20 physical. This is just so much power in one little spot that they had to forcibly add this shit node in here to make it awkward as fuck to get out. They forcibly added a garbage node, which does help a lot early on, so to make it awkward to get out of these nodes here. But this is a very powerful fucking starting area. Yeah. I haven't played an occultist ever. It's on my list. Dex and Energy Shield 64. I'm going to keep it. But obviously I'm still going to use that helmet. Just keep that. I'm a fucking trash rat. Trash panda. Keeping all this garbage. Fucking hoarder. Preparing for my next death. But I think Path of Exile 2 has a real shot of grabbing more people. Because right now, Path of Exile has ravenous exiles out there that are Exile fans. But I'm not sure they're gaining a lot of new players. They're retaining players very well, but I don't think they're gaining a lot of new players. And a lot of that is with the complexity of this game. Most people see this skill tree and go, nope, I am out. Too complicated, too difficult. Should I go get my extra passive? I think I'm going to level up one more time in order to reduce the cost of grace and maybe be able to pop on discipline. I can have more energy shield for the boss. So I'll level up one more time. But I think with Path of Exile 2, they have an opportunity to blow up. Because people are sheeple. As much as they don't want to be sheep, they are sheep. Me included. I can sheep out sometimes. There's a game called Slay the Spire that blew up in popularity, and I never would have played a game like that. I don't like card games. I don't like overly RNG games. So you should not have played Slay the Spire, but literally every human being I know was playing Slay the Spire. And since every human being I know was playing Slay the Spire, I was like, I'm going to give it a fucking shot. I'm going to fucking try this shit out. And I sheeped out, and I love Slay the Spire. Sheeped out and loved it. So when Path of Exile 2 launches, GGG has a very big opportunity to grab new players. Grab a fuck ton of new players and bring them into the POE world. But they need a high streamer count. They need a popular wave. They need people to see it, play it, and stream it. There's a game... Yeah, Slay the Spire fucking slaps like no one's business. There's a game that came out this year that had that happen, called Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a FromSoft game that should not have been nearly as popular as it was. But it grabbed culture through streaming and people playing it and word of mouth. The game was great, but in my opinion, it was not necessarily better than anything else they've done. It wasn't miles above Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 1. I'm missing something. Oh yeah, I got rid of Grace. I have all... This bothers me. I have so much available life hit points I can reserve something with, but I just don't have the sockets. Oh, I put that on life. That's why I can cast it. Yeah. So Elden Ring took the fucking world by storm. There was like titty streamer girls that were playing Elden Ring. One of the fucking more hard games out there. Just because it was popular and it caught the cultural zeitgeist. Path of Exile 2 has the opportunity to grab that same cultural zeitgeist and blow up into something bigger. Yeah, and the summons. It added a bunch of stuff to make it new player friendly. And one of the things they did was not put an easy mode in. You could say the summons are in easy mode, but it's not a dedicated easy mode. And that's extremely important. A lot of people want these accessibility options, but what accessibility options do is fragment the player base. When I'm playing Path of Exile and I'm talking to other people that play Path of Exile, I want us all to be on the same page playing the same game. If they open a fucking easy mode for Elden Ring, we're not all playing the same game. Some people are playing Elden Ring easy, some people are playing Elden Ring hard, and those are different experiences. By putting everyone into the same experience, it allowed a shared suffering and a shared experience across all streamers. And if they listen to the fan base, like a lot of people say they need to listen to the fans and do what the fans want, Dark Souls would have an easy mode. It would have multiple difficulty options, which would kill the game. But that's what the fans want. The fans want to kill the game. At least some of them. You were to do like fucking polls on IGN or some fucking bullshit site. Should Dark Souls have an easy mode? I'm pretty sure it's going to say yes, have an easy mode, and that's going to kill everything. Alright, here we go. Grace, reduce the cost. Oh, that's not going to be enough for discipline. I'm going to have to pop that guy too. Okay, here we go. Good luck portal. It is go time. I really do hate these bosses. I'm not very good at fighting these bosses. But luckily, lightning conduit seems to be broken as fuck. And I am stomping. Just pump on a bitch. Get out of that fire. Get my energy shield back. Get my energy... Oh, come on now. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Just fucking die. One down. Booyah. Oh, not only is that some pretty good DPS, look at my fucking pathing. Where am I getting elemental damage? I have 1 elemental damage node here, and 2, and 3. I only have, like, 3 damage nodes through this entire build. And I was able to fucking slaughterhouse that. Now, granted, I am level 65, and this is a 60 zone, so I'm 5 levels above. And 30% from Pain Attunement. Okay, fine. Fair. But with that, I'm not rocking Elemental Overload. I haven't pathed over to these lightning nodes yet. Right here. I don't go for the lightning nodes because I don't want to die. Everything is a give and take. So I either come down here and get my grace, and up here to get my discipline. So I can run grace and discipline to get me a fuckload of energy shield and dodge, so my energy shield can recharge. And then this chaos res I'm getting, and then I'm gonna probably pop this chaos res next to keep my chaos res nice and sexy. Oh, I wasn't even capped on lightning resistance, and I went into a battle with... Oh, that's just fire and ice. Lucky me. Lucky me. Yeah, so I'm focusing on defenses. Then once I get this energy shield leech, and I get all my defenses squared away, then I'll start popping into some offense. But for now, I am purely focused on defense. Slow rolling some defense. This is a lot of 3s. 3, 3, 3, 5. 1, 3, 3, 3. That's too many 3s. Shit's getting crazy with them 3s. I already have Corrupting Blood here. Then you can get Corrupting Blood immunity. I already got it. Already got it. Like a champion. I might go here to get this Avoid Bleed. But a Bleed is an interesting one because in my opinion, either you have a 100% chance to avoid Bleed or you have 0% chance to avoid Bleed. Poison Avoid, can't even talk. Poison Avoid is a little different because poison damage is so much smaller than bleed damage. But you get whacked with bleed damage. So if I grab these nodes here and get this bleed damage, and then if I were to get this bad boy here and get this 30% chance to avoid bleed damage, I'd be at 90% bleed avoid, which means I'm at 10% chance to die. With the Avoid Bleed Will, you can get Hinder Maim immunity mastery as well. Yeah, it's got Hinder and Maim Avoid, and Hinder and Maim Avoid are pretty good. Pretty good. But I'm mostly talking about Bleed right now. I don't mind Hinder and Maim too much because it's just probably not going to be the thing that one-shots me, but a big bleed hit will one-shot me. Right now I'm rocking this right here. Starts when you start bleeding and gives me Corrupted Blood and Bleed immunity. So whenever I get hit with the bleed, that'll trigger and save my dick. I don't know what bosses bleed. I think there's some bosses that bleed. So any boss that bleeds a lot, I'm going to get royally boned there. I don't think I want any of that, but I want to talk to Sin. Let me talk to Sin. Yeah, what do you got for me? I think I'm going to keep that damage over time. And I guess I'll keep where I got it. So I'm not going for those bleed avoids, simply because it's not going to give me 100%. Which means it gives me 0%. It's like that, oh, shit. Nope. Going to my hideout. I'm done with that. I hit that by accident. I don't want to fight nothing like that.
Hail God's Slayer.
What level is this claw? I think this is a level 1 claw. Shit, look at that. If I start a new character, I can use this claw from the start, it looks like. I'll be fucking bitches up with that. Alright. Let me put this discipline in a different spot. Replace it with that Tempest shield. Can I discipline? Not yet. 23%. I don't know if there's a way to show me how much percentage I have, and I'm not going to do that math. I started POE in alpha. Whoops, I needed to do a new one there. I started Path of Exile in alpha, and it was dog shit. Absolutely awful game. The rubber banding was so bad, and they didn't have any maps, only 10 acts. Getting a 6-link was basically impossible. Stop it. What do we got here? 40% increased monster damage. Extra damage is fire. This is going to be a dangerous place right now. And then I stopped playing because it was dog shit. And then I played Diablo 3 a lot. Mostly playing like Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3. Then I saw a couple of my buddies that were playing Path of Exile every quarter or so. I didn't know that they had seasons or anything. Little brother and a couple of ex-coworkers were playing it. They kept playing it for like over a year. They were playing it. And I was like, man, that game's trash. I'm not playing it no more. Because it had a shitty alpha. I was like, fuck it, I'll pop on. So I just randomly popped on when they were playing. And then they gave me the rundown of everything that's changed. And I think this was a little bit after Delve League. I didn't get to play Delve. I didn't get to play Bestiary. I played Synthesis. I played Betrayal. So right around then is when I got back into it. And night and day different. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Hello? You good? Is there a fucking ghost here? You good, bro? I don't know what the fuck that is. It is Predator. And I'm not a woman with an axe that can somehow be pulled back to you, so, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Predator's a great fucking movie. I haven't watched Prey yet. I hear it's okay, as long as you can turn your brain off. And as long as I get the pre-warning that you gotta turn your brain off a little bit, I can turn my brain off and enjoy a good brainless romp. So I hear Prey's pretty good. Just gotta... Yeah, probably that's where you get the fishing pole. I found the secret fishing pole. You just gotta ignore that it's a, you know, 100-pound girl with a tomahawk fighting the Predator. And it's pretty good. Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's okay with some good scenes. Now, I can shit. No, not even shit on. I can accurately talk about the power differential between men and women. Because as I've said, I was 5'7" and 118 pounds my freshman year. So when I did wrestling, I wrestled against several women in that weight class. And smoked them all. Wasn't even hard. It's a difficult thing to wrestle a woman, though, especially in public. Good thing that all the women that joined wrestling were super ugly, so I never, you know, popped a chub or nothing like that. But when you wrestle a woman, you got two things. Like, one, you definitely don't want to lose, but you also don't want to win. You don't really want to, like, stomp them. You want to grab them by their hair and just pin them to the mat immediately. So there's this balance you got to do where you go easy on them, but not easy enough to where they'll win. Because if you get beat by a girl, that's a rough situation to be a part of. So it's a delicate balance wrestling a woman. But you definitely got to win. There's no question about it. Now, as I say, my high school didn't have a lot of bullying, but if I wrestled a girl and lost, I imagine there'd be a little bit of ribbon. I don't know if it'd extend all the way to bullying. There'd definitely be some ribbon. But it was always very awkward when you get to the wrestling mat and then on the other side's a woman and you're like, great. Great. I'm on this heightened pressure where I gotta go easy but not lose at the same time. And this was pre-insanity. You'd be that... Yeah, exactly. I'd be that... I've never been to a reunion. I mean, there's 25 people in my graduating class, and so apparently they just had our 20-year reunion, like, a couple years ago. And they had, like, Prom King and Prom King come out on a helicopter, and they shot out fireworks. It was, like, a real big deal, because there's not a lot going on in that town. And they kind of tie it up with homecoming week, too. I obviously did not go. I'm not going to travel 1,500, 1,800 miles to go to a high school reunion. Especially because, like, social media is a thing. If I really wanted to talk to anyone from high school, I could just ping them on the faceplace. But I don't think my town has changed any with society. I don't think wokeness has tackled my little town that I was born and raised in. For homecoming, which happens in September, I'm pretty sure homecoming happens in larger schools. I don't know. But in our school, we had something called Homecoming Week, in which the whole school would show like school spirit and celebrate and shit. And it was always centered around a football game, the homecoming football game. And for the entire week, they had specific dress-ups that the entire school would do. One of those, which has been going strong for probably an entire century, was Cross-Dresser Day. And let me tell you what, I am one fine-ass woman when I want to be a woman. Legs for days. I dressed up as a dude, planted a dude, described as another dude. That's brilliant. That movie is absolutely hysterical. That's a 10 out of 10 right there. For a comedy movie, that's a 10. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm getting text. What the fuck are you even talking about, creep? Says my wife, who's being a creep, listening through the other... She got her ear on my door. She got her ear on my door talking about me dressed like a woman. She actually went to my school, that special little lady, so she saw me dressed like a woman. Big old fat bulge. And,
Yes.
I made her moist. You know, she's talking shit. I should bring her in here. Oh, she just texted high school sweethearts. Yes, high school sweethearts indeed.
Be careful.
Broke up so we can both go to college and enjoy college without being in a relationship. My wife does not play video games beyond Animal Crossing.
I don't think I need to be doing that right now.
But she got to see the Cross-Dresser Day. But as I was saying, they still do that. So imagine if you had a high school in California or any of these other woke places, and the entire school was a Cross-Dresser Day, and that's what they call it, Cross-Dresser Day, where the men all dress like women and the women all dress like men. I don't know if that would fly in some of those woke schools. Maybe it does. My wife mostly ignores me too, so, you know, don't. I'm in the same boat. Apparently I talk loud, and she's in the other room watching TV of some sort. Probably a murder mystery show. She watches that bullshit channel that's just like murder 24 hours a day. Those things are so poorly produced, I cannot stand them. And they just constantly repeat themselves over and over and over. It's like 5 minutes of actual television programming and 55 minutes of repeating the exact same shit they've already said. Yes, Jeffrey Dahmer ate a bunch of people. Tried to make zombies. Was a bit on the gay side. Show over. We don't need fucking 80 hours of this shit. I don't get it. Trying to think of the different day. Cross-Dresser Day is the only one that really rings out in my mind. I think we had Cowboy Indian Day. I honestly can't remember any other days. It was all about the Cross-Dresser Day. That was the big one. And because I was on the football team, the entire football team plays a little scrimmage game dressed as women in stilettos or high-inch heels. I don't know if they're stilettos. I really don't know what a stiletto is, but I played football, and I think I had 4-inch heels on. And the heels always end up breaking into the dirt. But nothing like a bunch of dudes tackling a bunch of dudes dressed like a bunch of chicks. It's just hot. No homo. Actually, no, full homo. It wasn't so bad. I mean, I don't really know what women complain about. I mean, men started the high heel craze back when they rode horses, and so men used to always wear high heels, and then women started like copying them. Wasn't so bad. I say that as a guy who at the time weighed like 125 pounds, so it's a lot easier to run in high heels when you weigh 125 pounds. Our linemen, however, the big old fat boys that were rocking like 250, they probably did not have such an easy time in heels. But I'm nimble like a cat, so heels were super easy. I don't even know what a bunion is. I know it's something on your feet, but I don't know what that is. Probably gross. I ain't gonna Google it. Fucking feet people lose their mind. Don't often kink shame, but when I do kink shame, it's those fucking feet people. I'll take furries over feet people. Goddamn Quentin Tarantino. Hard to watch a Quentin Tarantino movie because you know there's gonna be his fucking foot cum shot. Watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, his most recent film. Then you got that scene where they're going out to the Manson Ranch and the girl puts her feet onto the fucking window. I was losing my fucking mind. Oh, don't you dare put your fucking feet on my windshield, you dirty fucking skank. I'd have kicked her right out of my car. I don't care how hot she is. She putting her nasty ass feet on my windshield of my car, putting them fucking feet marks on there. She getting the boot. I liked it. I liked it a lot. That's my kind of movie. Heavy dialogue. Only a few action sequences, but that dialogue supports those action sequences. For me, the hardest movie for me to watch is a non-stop action movie. Because the action kind of bleeds into each other and becomes pointless. The movie's Bad Boys was nothing but non-stop action. Movies like Mission Impossible. It's just one thing after another thing after another thing. No, it's not Reservoir Dogs good. Doesn't meet the Reservoir Dogs quality stamp. It doesn't meet the Pulp Fiction quality stamp. Of course, everyone's taste is different. But I definitely don't put it at that high of a level. But I did like it. It'd be hard to rate it. There's almost no movies like it, really. 9 out of 10, probably. Solid. There's a lot of movie fan service for people that are into like old movies or movie production. So if you're in the film industry, you'll probably like it more than the rest. But I think it's good, regardless of your knowledge of the film industry. A lot of self-serving in there. It'd be like if I made a comedy movie that featured a lot of Path of Exile because I like Path of Exile. And then non-Path of Exiles would be like, I don't really understand what the fuck's going on. There's a little bit of that going on. Yeah, Pulp Fiction's absolutely incredible. So much to it. So much going on. It's also a kind of a, once you understand what's going on, it's a good movie to put on the background. Just kind of have it on. Wake up in the morning on a Saturday. Throw some bacon on the pan. Put some Pulp Fiction on the TV. Oh, I don't want to fight these guys. These guys are dangerous. Yeah, but those 90s movies, I got a whole fucking bucket of that shit. 4 Rooms. That's the one that had the 4 directors, right? Tarantino. I can't remember any of the other ones. Yeah, that was alright. I liked 4 Rooms. I watched that with Bert and Finch. Bert and Finch was fucking wild. I think it's Bert and Finch. Barcon Fink. This movie was trippy as shit. It's a good movie, though. It's a good movie. I think it's got John Goodman in it. Yeah, John Goodman. That's a good movie. That's a good flick. You ain't seen it. Put yourself in for a good time. Good time. Then you want to get weird, you watch some Videodrome. Videodrome. Fucking James Woods. Cosmic, like a body horror film. This is a trippy movie. This is a good time right here. I usually don't appreciate 80s movies that much. I'm more of a 90s guy. I really like my 90s movies, but this is a very, very interesting 80s movie. But this goes into weird movies. Like if you like some weird movies, this is it. Then you get it. It's along the same lines as Eraserhead. Eraserhead's a very weird movie. I very much enjoy. And then Mad Gods, I just watched just a little while ago. The entire thing was created through stop animation, clay stop motion animation. It's fucking wild. There's like no dialogue. It's not much of a story, but it's a pretty fucking trippy. It's a pretty trippy watch that I recommend everyone who likes movies watch at least once. You may hate it, but it's one of those things. It's like going to the Louvre. You'll appreciate it for its artwork. Very, very, very good artsy dork kind of
Just need a
film.
moment to catch my breath.
The opposite of Triple X or Bad Boys or Mission Impossible. Yeah, I have a difficult time with those movies if it's like non-stop action, because one action scene is basically the same as the next action scene. You need to build in some lull time to give the action scenes some weight. A movie that just had absolutely perfect action, just released, was Top Gun Maverick. I don't know how that movie was as good as it was. It should not have been. It's a fucking sequel to a 80s movie. But they fucking nailed every aspect of that, aside from the romance thing, which didn't land at all. I was okay with it, because Jennifer Connelly is exactly what I would want in a lady. Older, dark hair. I bet if she didn't dye her hair, it would start coming in gray. Tasty dish. That is the delicious dish. But Top Gun Maverick did a very good job with its action. Building up suspense and then having that entire last, like, 30 minutes of nonstop action. But everything else building up characters and everything before that action. Very good. Oh, my chat has minimized. Oh shit, it is Tuesday, isn't it? I got a Taco Tuesday as well. Catch up on some chat here. Top 5 movies of all time. That's too difficult. Yes, Videodrome definitely is a movie that should be watched on acid. Yeah, I think 97 is like the pinnacle of human culture. I can go on forever.